Hello and welcome to another video of Rollo and Tora. Both of them are here in this one. They're in this group of dogs straight in front of you on the screen at the moment. If Tora's trotting off at the background, Rollo's in the foreground. They're off to go and do whatever. We just got to the dog park. We've just walked in and I've turned the camera on. So in this video, you will see both Rollo and Tora interacting with several dogs, and we will see Tora having a bark at some children outside of the dog park who are on, I think, 2 bikes and a scooter, and I'll run you through why I don't really intervene on that. And at the end of the video, you'll see that Tora is no longer bothered by people outside of the dog park, and I'll explain the reasons for that. Yes, I'm collecting Rollo's droppings already. Excellent. Yeah, so that's what you can see in this video. Sorry about straight to the toilet stop. Never mind. I'll narrate as I go on, and as usual, use some text on the screen, and there's Tora in front of us, and freeze frames or repeat footage as necessary to make the point across. And hopefully you'll see some useful body language interactions and things going on with the dogs. So I've frozen it here. The Tora's in the, you can't really see very well, she's in the middle of the screen towards the top. There's a couple of children there and a parent. There's 2 bicycles and a scooter. Tora is about to bark at them and trot along the fence line with them. You'll see that. I don't intervene. I let her get on with it. There's a good reason for that, and I will explain later at the end of the video when we get to the clip where she is no longer bothered by people, be they walking, jogging, or on bikes outside the dog park. So here she is barking. I ignore the some footage. Some people might think I should intervene, and explain why I don't later on.
Alf.
She likes to run alongside scooters.
Fair.
She's trying to get them to move quicker.
Oh, there you are.
There you are, Rollo. That fluffy tail you see there, that's Tora. She's already disengaged from barking at the people at the fence. Didn't last longer than 4 or 5 seconds. And that's why I didn't intervene. She is quite capable of learning that there's nothing to get worried about, nothing to be bothered by, but I have to give her that space to do so. If I draw attention to that or make a big deal of it, I'm going to make it worse. Anyway, we'll get into more of that at the end of the video. Just want to show Tora's disengaged from them. She's come back to being normal. So you're about to see an approach of a dog that's nervous on the right top of the screen. Here it goes. You see it takes a wide trajectory around Rollo and Tora. Tora's very interested in it. The other dog's nervous. You see it's going round wide the other way. It was not too interested in meeting them. It was a bit scared. It's curious, but it was a bit scared. But that wide circle from the other dog is a sign it's not interested. You see it darting out the way here. It doesn't really want to meet Tora. It just trots on back to its owner. Tora gets a message. She tries to give it a sniff, and she trots after it for a bit, but she's not pursuing it in any mean way or trying to get into its personal space and do anything nasty to it. There's a couple of other dogs that come across there, and she's completely distracted now. But yeah, it's an interesting way to see when a dog is nervous of meeting the dogs that are coming at it. You'll see that sort of semicircular wide trajectory as it tries to either get out of the way or just indicate that it's uncomfortable with body language and body positioning, and that was a good example of that. And now we're almost at the other end of the park again, and the dogs are off screen. Tora's running around with a couple other different dogs on the left. I've lost her, and then there she is. She's watching dogs come in. Yeah, so that's, I just wanted to explain that. Is that 3 or 4 dogs coming into the park? 4 dogs coming into the park now, and Tora says hello to all of them. She even gets petted here. She's not too impressed with that, but she just trots on and ignores it. That's what I mean. She's not bothered by people too much anymore. And she goes on to play with, not really play, just sniff and meet other dogs. I don't think there's anything untoward about all of those dogs coming in. There's one of the ones that just came in as a barker, but I don't think we'll have much footage of that because of the next few minutes nothing really happens. So I'm going to skip and cut out a lot of the footage for the next few minutes, and we'll get towards the end where the dogs are actually interacting and doing things together and playing. Yeah, there's a couple of dogs approaching Rollo, who's sitting up now, and there comes Tora trotting in pretty quick. Not sure why or what got her attention so much. Two small dogs come and say hello. This is the barker. So that dog right in front of the screen now, that's the barker. It spent the entire time it was there walking around, that dog's barking. A bit weird, but whatever. That's a nice little French bulldog. It's strange for Tora to come trotting in as fast as she did, but yeah, the other dogs weren't plussed by it. They weren't bothered. She was lolloping. It wasn't a serious run, and they could read that. She was quite bouncy in her steps, even if she was quite direct towards them. But she was being playful. I don't know where she's trotted off to now. She's seen something in that bush. So we'll skip some more footage, and we'll get to the next interaction. So I've paused it here. We're going to meet that white dog that's in screen, or Tora is. Just quickly point out, there's no noise when I'm doing all these voiceovers. If there was any vocal interactions, I would let that play and then redo the footage while I talked over, but there aren't. And now you see the dogs have met. I'll just let you watch this and I'll repeat the footage anyway, so I'll explain to you what's going on here. Hopefully you can pick up the moods and the difference in temperament between the two dogs who are having that meeting, and Tora's now distracted onto a different dog, and Rollo's doing the same thing, coming in on that dog. Right, let's pause there and repeat that footage. So this is a nice meeting. You see the other dog's head is low, slightly submissive as it's coming in. Tora's is too. Nice meeting there. The other dog goes a bit stiff and puts its head up. It's a reasonably relaxed meeting there. You see where it backs off. It doesn't want Tora behind it. And the head's now up high. It's showing some nervousness. Does not want Tora behind it. It's not comfortable with that. And it's backing up. Tora's pushing it into a bit. I think it's a boy. And then trots off as Rollo's coming into the frame now. Rollo does the same. It doesn't want Rollo behind him, so he's just backing up and only letting them sniff his head. And that's fine, but it's just an indication that the Labrador is not comfortable, a little bit nervous, doesn't want the dog's faces around its back end. And that's okay. My dogs oblige and don't push the issue. Tora gets distracted by a different dog, and Rollo just gets bored and wanders off. So yeah, interesting approach there. It was a nice friendly approach, a little bit submissive from the lab, and then you could see why it's just not confident in the initial greeting interaction to let Rollo or Tora get behind it and have a sniff of his butt as dogs normally do. Hey, that's where it goes. And there's a poodly type thing giving Tora a check out, and there's the lab doing the same. And then Rollo's got two dogs around him. It's not abnormal for Rollo. And they're just checking each other out. Him and Tora are off to another part of the dog park. All right. Well, oh, Tora's chasing something. Well, I didn't spot that before when I rewatched this back. She's not chasing it anymore. There she goes. Yes, she is. So Tora's trying to initiate play. See how she's bouncing as she runs? It's not really a run. I'll grab that again a sec. So yeah, here she goes. She's lolloping. Look, this bouncy, lollopy run. That's an attempt to induce play. That's what she's doing when she's lolloping like that rather than running. Now she's just kind of trotting after the dog. So she's trying to get to play. She's enjoying the run. It's running away from her, but it's also doing it in a fairly playful way. There's no fear. There's a little play bow there. So again, they're lolloping after each other. This is all good, friendly fun. Play chase and enjoy doing it. Yeah, both dogs having fun there. Nothing to worry about. This dog's a little more wary of Rollo. Not surprised, there's another white dog getting involved as well. But that was fun to see. But yeah, when you see a dog lolloping like that rather than running, that's a good sign that there she's doing it again. Good sign you've got just play going on. Just play. Oh, we're going to have to get that footage again. I'm not sure what Tora's doing over there. She might be barking at someone outside the fence again. Hang on. Ah yes, joggers. You see, that's what Tora's after. Okay, well, I'll stop making noise. We'll go to original audio.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, absolutely. No, I remember that.
Numpty Tora.
Yeah. And he's a handler. I think he's working.
That's what I do it. Okay, so this is towards the end of the video. Here is a person walking past the dog park. You've already just seen Tora in the footage. She knows this person's there. She knows this person's coming, but she's over it. She is not bothered about people walking past the dog park anymore. She doesn't go up to the guy and bark. She doesn't do anything silly, and this wasn't the first person that occurred to. She's looking at him again. Definitely knows he's there. This was about the fifth person this occurred with. And I just wasn't quick enough with the camera previously because I'd stopped filming because we've been at dog park a while now. I only took 20 odd minutes of footage. We were there for about an hour and 20 minutes. So this is why I don't intervene. There's no point. Tora is, as I said, capable of learning how to cope with the situations and understand the situation she's in, and that people outside the dog park are not a problem, they're not a threat. She can ignore them. Now, if I went up to her and started telling her off for barking at the people or trying to get involved or doing any of that weird stuff, it would just draw attention to the problem. It would make it a big deal to her that I'm getting agitated about things, and that would mean that she got agitated about it and she wouldn't calm down, she wouldn't leave it alone, and every time someone turned up at that fence she would go nuts. So it's all about just showing her that I'm not bothered, I'm not calm, because most of the time she turns around and looks at me when she's done this stuff, and I show her that I have no reaction, I don't care, I'm not bothered, and that's what brought her back into being able to get herself calm and ignore them. It's all about me and being calm, and not the time to go rushing in and tell her off and shout and scream and do other dumb stuff. It just makes everything worse. Not very nice for some of the people outside that got barked at, sure, agreed, looks bad, especially when there's children, and I suspect the parent wasn't very happy with what she was doing, but the real change comes when you just step back and let her figure it out. The child outside the fence is safe, nothing can go wrong, it's just annoying. And she did figure it out. She stopped being annoying to people outside the fence because I gave her that space to understand it. And that's how you affect long-lasting, permanent change.